Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Real Podcast. Let's just go around the table, just reintroduce ourselves. What it do? I'm Namdi.
My name is Corey.
I'm Kelly.
That's what he cares.
Fuck off.
Hey guys, I'm Genzano.
And we are here. This is a very special episode. We have, as you all know, Film 3 screenings are coming up. It's the end of the semester. And we have one Film 3 group whose film I am very, very excited about. I've never been excited for a Film 3, like this excited for a Film 3 in the longest time. It's really going to be something special. Right now we have the crew of Leadbeater. So let's clap that up.
Oh, Jesus.
Did you forget about the claps again?
I never expect the claps.
So yeah, we're just going
to help you out.
We're going to go down the line. If you guys would introduce yourselves.
Oh, and your position.
Okay. My name is Tyler Peterson. I am the writer and director and editor of Leadbeater.
I'm Andrew Capino. I'm the director of photography for Leadbeater.
I'm Burchick, and I produced the film.
I'm Genzano. I am assistant director and also emotional support.
I thought you were just going to end it with emotional.
No, I did. I'm also emotional.
Like, me too.
Loud too.
Me too.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, so to start things off, let's get right into it. So what is Leadbeater?
What is Leadbeater? What is a Leadbeater?
I was gonna say
Either or.
Is it
Let's-
a
yeah, let's
thing?
go
Is
with
it a
both.
noun?
It's a noun.
Yeah.
I thought it was a verb.
No.
It's a...
You don't like lead beat someone.
That would
No.
make more
A
sense.
Leadbeater is.
Okay, so what is a lead beater?
So there's two definitions of a leadbeater. So there is the leadbeater's possum, which is an endangered species of possum that lives in Australia. It's a critically endangered species. And then there's the term leadbeater that the film tries to make up its own definition for the characters. So, and then Leadbeater itself is the name of the film, and so you got all these different Leadbeaters and don't know what to do with them. You're going to watch the film and hopefully understand.
So how did you come up with like lead beater? Like, did you learn about the possum or?
So I knew that I wanted there to be an endangered species that was important to the main character, Laurel. And I was just going through lists and lists of different types of endangered species, and I'd look at the names that popped out, and look at a little bit about what the animal was like, and just like little things about them. And then I found the Leadbeater's possum, and I thought it was really adorable, and it somehow fit. And then I was like, Leadbeater, that's a very interesting word in of itself, and I kind of just ran with that.
All right, cool.
Usually when I think of a possum, I don't really think of them as like adorable, Tyler.
These are
They're cute.
Yeah, they look kind of like sugar
Are they?
They got
gliders.
big eyes.
Oh,
Big
I used to
beady
own a
eyes.
sugar glider. It actually killed itself.
Oh,
Wait,
wow.
how did it kill
just-
itself?
It like jumped. Like, you know how they glide? They like spread their arms and legs and they glide.
Are you
It-
telling me sugar gliders glide?
I think you're thinking of
Listen
lemmings
up,
there.
Valerie.
Oh.
Look, no, the sugar glider, it glided into a wall. Like, it didn't.
Oh
my God.
Oh.
It didn't like
I did
try
that
to
once.
change its
mean,
like
next-
course of direction
I
or
tried that one
anything.
It's
time.
gonna be next week's podcast.
That's what it looks like. It looks exactly like a
Wow.
sugar
My
Yeah.
glider.
sugar glider
Yeah.
died.
That's
Yeah,
a-
they're
oh, that's
adorable.
If you guys didn't know,
I don't know why
That's
I'm
the name
looking
of
at
my
that. I
film
have to draw that
How
on
my
a
sugar
cake.
glider died.
Thank you for the inspiration, Corey.
It was like it was a tragedy, but it was also just kind of funny, to be honest. It
Oh yes.
was like Me Too sugar glider.
That is quite hilarious.
That sounds like some Looney Tunes shit, actually. So the interesting thing about this film is that you mentioned in your Kickstarter that this film has an all LGBT cast. So how did you end up to that spot during the writing process? Like, did it happen organically? Did you decide going in that this was going to be a film with all LGBT characters, or?
So at first, there's a number of characters in the film, and there's two supporting characters named Danny and Ricardo, and they originally were always supposed to be LGBT+, but then the other characters, don't want to go in too much spoilerly, you know what I mean, territory.
I got you.
It happened organically throughout the process, and it happened very early on. So I think by the second draft that was decided. It was just very, it happened organically, and it was what I clearly saw as what the story needed and what it called for the characters, what was important for them, and it just made sense.
Cool. Well, all right. So looking at different pieces of footage for the film, this film has a very strong sense of self. Like, it's very stylized. Everything from the music to the way you guys are using, I believe, 70 millimeter film. 16 millimeter film. Okay, so what I want to know is like what influences help to shape the overall aesthetic of the film. Like, what different different music artists, different pieces of cinema, what helped to shape Leadbeater?
So from my end, the general. We're saying bye to Val. Val just left.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Val.
My
Good luck, have
director's
fun.
going, what do I do? So on my end, writing it, most of the inspiration came from music that I was listening to while writing.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a lot of kind of indie, some synth wavy type music. So some Baltimore bands like Y Oak, Beach House, Future Islands, and then some other more national bands, Tame Impala, Arcade Fire, Angel Olsen. That's a number of artists I was listening to while writing it. And then for I'm also a production designer, so I think a lot about costume and like the aesthetics of the look. So I guess that came from just my personal taste, and which is rooted in a lot of like kind of throwing back to like 90s visual aesthetics.
Mm-hmm.
And with my last film, A Mysterious and Sudden End, how it was designed was it was supposed to look like a very ambiguous time period. There wasn't anything that it was hard to pinpoint what time period it actually took place in. There was things that were elements from various time periods, and I tried to minimize as much technology in the film as possible, and I wanted to do the same thing with Leadbeater. So from my end, that's where my aesthetics came from.
Okay, cool.
And I think that was really cool that as a production crew, we had many meetings and we all understood the same visual appeal. And I understand that, like, we always had an idea about what we wanted to have the film look like and to get Tyler's vision made, because we all share that same aesthetic.
Yeah, you mentioned something about like this particular film not having, you can't really pinpoint what time period it's set in. So
Mm-hmm.
is it pretty much the same with Leadbeater?
Yeah, so when people watch it, I don't think there's much I don't want things to totally stand out, be like, oh, that looks very 2016 or this, like, by doing that, I like that decision just for the basic aesthetic visual reasons that I just feel like it lasts longer. It doesn't date the film. You see a film with an iPhone in it, in 2 years it's going to look like, oh, that was filmed like 2 years ago because look at that chunky iPhone or whatever. Like, technology just changes so rapidly. I don't want to date the film like that, and I think art that you create has a more timeless feel to it. It just has a different level of magic almost with it.
You know what this film actually reminds me of, and I think I've mentioned this to you before. Aesthetically, it reminds me, and yet it reminds me of this new show called Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
It's on FX. It's created by Donald Glover, and just like watching the footage that I've seen, and like just like watching the show, that show is very like David Lynch in terms of like the visuals of it. And plus, like, music plays a big role in that show as well. So, like, the sort of like the heart and soul of Atlanta, obviously, rap is, that's one of the biggest rap scenes in America right now. So, like, like the language and like sort of the feeling of Atlanta, like when you watch it, you feel like you visited Atlanta, like after you finish watching that show. And I feel like, with you including a whole bunch of, elements of the Baltimore art scene in your film, even if, people who watch the film when it eventually goes public, you know, like on Vimeo or whatever, like they'll watch the film and they'll feel like they visited Baltimore essentially, like because like there's so much of that scene. And what I wanted to know was, you know, this film features that scene. Like, how, you know, what are some of your favorite parts of that scene? What did you end up including? You know, what elements of the art scene did you include in Leadbeater?
I think a lot of it just comes down to the community itself, and that's kind of what makes it its thing. Like, you know, Baltimore is just this location, but you get all of these different creatives together, and it has this very particular style to it, which is really cool. So it's just like weird parties at like the Copycat building, and like
Getting
The
flashbacks.
Copycat building is just something else.
yeah, I mean, you can't do this without the Copycat building. So they got the Copycat building. You know, you have just like these indie, very like indie, almost like garage sounding lo-fi bands. People wearing clothes that are very obviously just found at like Savers or Goodwill. Just like all these different little things kind of make the mass what it is.
It's got a narrative of its own. If you really think about what Baltimore is, you know, it's this former blue collar town. You know, falls on some hard times, but still has a thriving art scene. I think that's like a story in and of itself, and I think that, like, you know, as a production crew, that's just kind of the whole image that we wanted to show of Baltimore.
Speaking of the bands that you kind of featured in the music that you had in the film, I know that you guys got what was the name of the band that you guys?
Reagan Cats.
Reagan Cats. So how did you go around like getting them onto your film? Like, what was the process of listening to them and being like, I want this on Leadbeater, and like, how did you guys reach out to them?
First started with Capino. So how did you first get in touch?
I was working on a micro-budget film in Frederick, Maryland called Lambda. I was the best boy grip, and we posted some kind of like progress post, and the keyboardist Kaz, keyboardist Kaz, he reached out to me on Facebook asking if he could score and compose Lambda, and I told him I wasn't really sure, and I think they already had someone, but I looked at some of his stuff, and it was pretty much right down the line of what Tyler wanted to do. And I was looking at his Bandcamp page. It was really professionally done. He'd done like numbers in the back page and a lot of other films that my friends have worked on. And his music and style is absolutely perfect. So I kind of asked him and kind of push him over to Tyler, and then it's just a match made in heaven.
Yeah,
it's great.
Definitely. Yeah. So he brought a Kaz over, and I looked up the Kaz stuff, and then I realized like, oh, he's in this band Reagan Cats, and I wasn't super familiar with the band, but I was like, wait, they did the music for Number, which was a Film 3 last semester. And I remember very clear that I loved the music in that film, and it was so good. And then I was like, oh my God, this is the same band. This is amazing. This is literally all I could ask for with looking for a band. And so I talked to Kaz and eventually got in touch with the rest of the band, and things just kind of fell into place really well. And all of the music that they already create is just fit the world perfectly, which makes sense because they are part of this world that the film takes place in.
I think you mentioned at one point one of the you guys had a Kickstarter for Leadbeater. So one of the perks was like they actually they created like an EP or like a soundtrack of sorts.
So what that is we have our crowdfunding was via Indiegogo, and I think it was the $50 perk was after we wrap and everything, and the music that they want in the film and is like totally like ready and mastered and whatnot, we'll put together some sort of like some sort of like EP or something. I don't know how we're going to get it out yet to the people who bought that, but they're going to get like a digital download copy just to like to have the full film soundtrack, because a lot of the songs, like, you only get a little part of it in the film, not the whole song. So that's a nice perk. It's a really great music.
So yeah, how involved was the band in terms of like composing creating some of the original songs for the film, were they able to read the script and like sort of, include references from the film like in the music? Like how involved were they?
So it wasn't quite that involved. What basically we did was, Kaz was really my real liaison with the band. So because Kaz does his own independent scoring, so he knows the band stuff and then also his own personal work that's just like straight scoring, not like indie pop or any music or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So we went through all of their songs and like picked out ones that we thought worked best for certain scenes, and then once we got those selected, there's a couple scenes where the band isn't playing but we still wanted music, so then he started whipping up some score that was written for the film for the parts where the band isn't playing. So the scenes where we have the band songs playing, those are actual Reagan Cat songs, some of them from past releases, and then one of probably the most featured song actually hasn't come out yet, so they played it live, but I guess the first time people will hear the recorded version will probably be in Leadbeater, and that's going to be, I think, on their upcoming album that they're working on.
Wow.
Do you know when their album is going to be released?
I know they're working on it right now, and I don't think they've set a release date, but I definitely would say it's probably going to be in the coming months. They've been working really hard on it all throughout the fall, and they've been doing some little touring here and there, so I think they're on their way.
So that's a little exclusive for the Towson University crowd, I guess.
Yeah.
Some exclusive shit.
So you guys were talking about how like you really you had a vision going into it in a sense after writing the script. Was there any like complications after having the script and having the cast and finding locations that work well? Was there any kind of I guess it's more for Jeb in a sense of was there any like kind of brick walls that you kind of hit during the
100%, but that is the filmmaking process, and I was just very lucky to work with a crew that was extremely helpful and supportive, so we were able to get everything done that we needed to get done. But absolutely, I mean, that stuff's bound to happen.
You mentioned something about party scenes, and you guys actually shot in the Copycat building. So you essentially like you had to throw a party and film it. What was that like?
Oh, it was
The coolest experience of my life.
It was
was
really
interesting.
cool, and it was so stressful. Gosnell, you were an extra on set, and you're also in the art department.
Oh,
How
yeah.
is it from the outside? From
Oh
Okay.
man! All right. Here we go.
Okay, well,
Through the
first of
glass.
all, with art department, decorating was an experience. Because like the ceilings, like it's like a warehouse style, studio style apartment. So like we had to throw streamers like really, really high. It was like me, what is Laura's name?
Jamie
and Tom, and we were just like climbing ladders trying to throw streamers across. Decorating was like, it was a trip, but it was pretty fun.
High ceiling.
Yeah, like
how high were the ceilings?
I
So
don't have
high.
any, like
Skyscrapers.
pretty much.
And
It was almost like we were in a warehouse. It was a lot, but like
Isn't
it is a warehouse.
the Copycat building like a rebuilt warehouse? For
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
artists and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, we're talking like
So-
at least 12 to 15 feet. Some of the things, like those China balls, went even higher than that.
yeah. It was a lot of like climbing, reaching, not falling. Pretty sure like Jamie was struggling on the ladder a couple of times. In terms of like being an extra, I mean, I can't really say much because I've had a couple visits to the Copycat, so I kind of know how it is. But like, it was like your typical Baltimore like art scene kind of thing.
Did it feel authentic, Gosnell?
I mean, of course it did.
yeah.
I mean,
you're the real
besides
deal.
the cameras being around, I mean, it was definitely like it created that feel, especially with like in combination with like the decorations and how the extras were dressed and like all the other stuff. It was definitely like the style that we needed, and like the lighting was really great with it too. We had like these really bright colors going around. We had the red and blue China balls, and I think there was like a yellow light somewhere, and like all this different stuff, and it was just really, really cool.
It was really fun, and when we broke for lunch both days, the Reagan Cats would just play through lunch. So
Yeah,
we got
that's
an entire
awesome.
show with it.
It was nice.
It was
Dinner and a
quite the
show.
experience.
That's where I wished I could have been an extra on that set now, because I mean, Like yeah, like it was pretty much the real deal. You guys threw an art school warehouse party,
And got a movie made.
Yeah, and you got a movie made in the process. So I mean,
it was funny trying to dress the extras because it was like we have to dress them like Baltimore hipsters, blah blah blah. But like most of them typically dress like that.
And
like even myself, so I'm just like okay, like I literally don't know what to wear because like this is my whole closet.
Just
like,
come as you are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They showed up ready to go.
Yeah.
And
it was
even
great.
so the band what they perform on at the party is there's this half pipe inside the apartment loft, and that's like their stage, and behind them we had projected on the screen experimental films from Towson students that were like crew members.
Beth Mahalski's films,
Yeah, like Beth
actually.
Mahalski, who was our gaffer and the DP for the 16 millimeter.
It was her 16 millimeter film reel, and I think some other stuff. Played
Yeah, there was like some animation, and yeah, it was just like a cool touch that there
It was
was
actually
real.
playing through my laptop. I forgot about that till just now, so that was cool.
That's great. Like yeah, it sounds
Very
like
interesting setup.
it really sounds like everybody that was involved really put a little bit of themselves into this film, so it feels that much more personal.
Yeah. Especially also like with the locations. I think pretty much almost all the locations were places that were tied to the crew, the cast. Like some of us, we know the guy who lived in the copycat building, so like we've been to parties there. The stuff that was on Laurel's roof and Bandit's bedroom, that's the actress who plays Bandit, her real bedroom. So like that brought another level to it.
That's great. That's awesome.
What rooftop did you guys film on?
It was so we fake the locations, make them look like they're in different places or in the same place, and they're not. But Molly and Laura, who play Bandit and Laurel, and Laura. Laura. That was confusing on set.
Oh, it's terrible.
Laura was also the production designer, and they live together in Baltimore. So we used their place for Laurel's roof and Bandit's bedroom and bathroom.
Oh, sweet. Mm-hmm. I thought you guys were gonna use one of those like rooftop decks that they have all the time in Canton.
Yeah, I think like Heather sent us a picture of like her sisters, but like they were very small.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's definitely a lot of cool places in Baltimore that we could have used, but ultimately it came down to one that was extremely convenient for us that the actresses lived there, and then it was also adding that personal touch. It just made that story so much more raw, and it looked amazing at the same time. They have quite the aesthetic apartment, which really pleased us.
Go figure.
Yeah. They had like giant buildings in the background, so when we were on the actual roof, there would be some stuff in the background like mise en scène. It wouldn't just be like empty and barren, so there's lots of cool stuff to fill the frame with.
Cool.
Was there a favorite a scene or thing that you filmed personally?
My favorite one was when in the party scene, Bandit comes up and addresses the entire party, because we get a really close look at the band stage area with the projectors and just that whole side of the room. And me and Jack got up there, and it was really fun. We were just getting lots of light flares and just really cool lighting. And I can't wait to see what the actual color correction looks like, because yeah, that scene's gonna be my baby. That side of it.
And then as a director, was there a favorite scene that you was like your baby that you were so excited to film?
Avoiding spoilers.
Yeah.
Try not to spoil.
I mean, the whole thing, it just felt like this marathon, and it, like trying to pinpoint one certain thing is really hard. I really there's a scene where Laurel and Bandit are across the room from each other, and they there's no dialogue, just the music playing, and they lock eyes across the room, and they come towards each other and they start dancing, and they have this moment. And I think that's a really cool part. Really the parts where it's like you don't even need dialogue, you just have the music playing, like that's in the visuals, it's like that's just where it's at.
That's actually you actually showed me that scene like when you were editing. By the way, Peen, fantastic DP work, because like the work on the work on that scene alone was incredible. Like just like it looked like a music video. Like it really did. Like some of the shots, like you could legit cut. I feel like you could legit cut some of the pieces into a music video. Have you ever thought about doing
We
that?
are for Breaking Cats.
Oh, you really?
That's their our
Have
thank
to do
you
that.
is they're gonna get a music video out of it.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. Yeah.
It's like cross promotion, like like you're for Leadbeater and like
Yeah,
for
I mean
one
that's
of
one of the main reasons I want to work with them, because like you're an up and coming band, up and coming film, like we're helping each other out, like they're playing themselves in the film. We're like they are the Reagan Cats, and in the film they are the Reagan Cats, and the characters call them that, and like they wear their merch in some of the scenes. So it's like
Which is very like characteristic of like the Baltimore art scene, is a very collaborative kind of unit where everyone works together to support each other, and
very tight knit.
yeah. So that's really cool that you're able to kind of, the film mimics that, and then also like have that be a part of the actual making of the film.
Life imitates art.
it. There you go.
Capino, correct me if I'm wrong, but that was the second film you ever actually DP'd?
Yeah, so basically, I did one 72-hour short film with Matt Friend and a couple people a month before Leadbeater to kind of just practice and get kind of a better understanding of script to screen and like camera coverage and all that. And that actually went really well because I did my homework a lot this past year. And, I wanted to kind of come out with an iron fist because I definitely want to do camera work more. And I knew I had a lot of catch up to do with some of our crazy talented alumni and stuff like that. And I just wanted to get to the point where someone would let me shoot their film. So
Here I am.
yeah. This was the first film that I actually had a say in. The 72-hour film festival, the way it works is, you only have 72 hours to make it. You kind of just become your director's puppet, where they have the singular vision and they kind of just tell you where to put the camera. With this film, I was working with Tyler for months, trying to just get the visual narrative language out, just the mise-en-scene. We were trying to really make the production design and the lighting just clash, and just figuring out what type of lenses to use that reflected the traits of the characters, what aspect ratio to use for both the film and for the video side of it. It was all really awesome collaboration, and just creating something fresh and new, and not really using lookbooks or rip reels of different movies to like kind of get what you want. We kind of just wanted to just create something out of nowhere, and we knew that as soon as we got the characters in front of the camera with the lighting, like it would look cool no matter what. So we really just kind of ran with it and didn't really limit ourselves to any rules.
Yeah, that's interesting you brought up. Like I really wanted to stray away from like pulling just like only images from other films. I didn't want this to look like other films. I wanted it to look like its own thing. I didn't want it to be totally, I wanted to borrow things from that I liked, but I didn't want it to be like, oh, this looks so Clueless, or this looks so Neon Demon. Like I wanted us to make our own aesthetic, and I think we did that.
And I think when you look at it in terms of the lighting, I'm a DP that really mostly focuses on the lighting design, and God bless my amazing gaffer, Beth Mahalski, I love you. She really helped create.
Shout out to Beth.
Yeah, she barely even had to really look at my lookbook. We talked for a little bit before we even shot the thing, and this girl just knew. She just pulled everything out of my head and definitely put all the stuff that she's learned and her own influences into it. And because basically I just wanted really cool looking like colored lighting and lots of additive mixing and lots of color theory, and she really crushed it on like the technical side as well as a little bit of the theoretical side too. And we were just really blessed to have her. She really helped bring the story to life, because the lighting and the color theory is a huge subtext that lies kind of under the surface of the narrative elements. Kind of takes a back seat to what you see on the screen. So yeah.
So you think that film nerds like us, like, will be able to pick up on like certain hints like within like the aesthetic of the film and like the look of the film, like the way certain scenes are lit, the way that I believe you mentioned something about like aspect ratios changing throughout the film, and like certain like tricks that happen, like kind of like Scott Pilgrim in a sense. Yeah, like stuff like
we
stuff
did
like that.
so much pre-production for this that nothing here is
We leave
subconscious.
anything out.
Yeah,
Nothing-
this was all very meditated.
This
and
is very meticulous.
so we wanted to create our own aesthetic, but at the same time, we knew what we were doing, and hopefully that shows in the film.
Yeah, we definitely, there was a resonating modus operandi, just a philosophical.
I'm sorry.
Biggest words.
Matthew
Look,
Bainbridge.
Capino,
That
I'm
just
sorry,
means
man, but I
mode
don't
of
speak
operation.
French.
It just means
Bainbridge.
mode of
It
operation.
means mode of
guys.
operation, like Latin or something. It just means to have, to have a vision. And like Tyler had his vision for the story and the production design stuff. Same as Jeb, same as me for camera and lighting. It's just this kind of theme. It's thematic. It's very like hardcore film theory, but every movie should or should not have it. Probably should have it, but yeah, it's just really good tool. It's a platform that you can kind of work off of, and I'm glad I personally stuck with it throughout all the pre-production because it definitely, I think it translated to screen pretty well.
Now, this is different than most other film themes because this idea has been kind of cultivated longer than is expected of a film 3. Like, you've had this idea for a while, haven't you?
Yeah, so I don't know exactly how long people generally work on like their scripts for film 3. Like I know Danielle Gibson, who's in film, I think she's been working on her script for like 3 years or something like that. But
Jesus.
I'm not that far from me. So I had an idea for a film 3 called Hawthorne Vale, which I started writing.
I remember Hawthorne
Yeah,
Vale.
I wrote that I think at the beginning of 2016, and then I still really like it. And I still really want to make it, but it was just like a little much. It was a little much. Not that Leadbeater was practically any easier, but and then in May I got the idea for Leadbeater, and I started writing Leadbeater in May, and then I guess I put the final touches on the script and said the script was done at the beginning of October, and we shot at the beginning of November. So I worked on the script for about 6 months prior to shooting.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember reading an early draft of it during like the summer.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It-
How much has it changed since then? Because that's the last time I actually.
It's changed quite a bit. I think the biggest change was like the first draft to the second draft, and then probably around like draft 8 things probably started to level out and stay the same for the most part, just minor tweaks after that. I went through 10 drafts in total.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Is that I mean, I'm not a film person per se. Is that typical?
That's
of-
pretty common.
Yeah, when we went.
For a good person that takes, for someone that's smart enough to take feedback, it's pretty common, I'd say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially, yeah.
When we were doing Fucked, the script. Yeah, I know it's Lenzo's script.
Oh, okay.
So when we were going through that went through like, I think, 13 or 14 iterations before it was finalized and we filmed it.
So I keep hearing this over and over again when I'm talking to film people, and especially people who write scripts, is that even after something is filmed, they still don't consider the script ever really done. Like, it always can be improved. Is that
In the
kind
editing
of...
room.
That can go with any art form,
Yeah.
really.
Today we were doing the first day of ADR in the studio.
How did that go, by the way?
It went well. We had Molly in there, the lead. She's playing Laurel, and we got all of our stuff done. But
Who's your engineer?
Tiffany Merson was today,
Ooh.
and she's doing like the post sound editing too. So, yeah, we were in there today, and like you brought that up. But I was tweaking things in the script that Molly had to read today, like her voiceover. She has voiceovers throughout the film, and those were being tweaked today, and the film's already shot. So the script never really dies.
Yeah.
Is this something that you maybe would want to expand on later? Because I know that Mike Chang did that with his film 3, where he had his film 3 that he did, and then later on he went back and kind of added to it. And the same thing with As the Wave
When a
Comes.
Wave
When a Wave
Comes.
Comes. Yeah, sorry.
I don't really foresee that happening with Leadbeater. I mean, when the script was done, I was satisfied with it, and for me, I was like, the story is told, the story's done. It doesn't need to be, any added, like, it doesn't need to go on longer. Like, even if, like, people would be like, "Oh, this. Do you think you could do a feature out of it?" Like, I really don't think I would want to. Yeah, like I don't know. Like I'm sad. Like this was made to be a short. I'm satisfied with it. Maybe it could be a feature, but like that's not a. I'm very happy with how it is now, and I think that's all of the story needed.
We can sleep safely.
I come back on New Year's Day, 2017. Hey guys, are you ready to do the feature version?
Leadbeater,
There's so many
Leadbeater
other
2.
stories. There's so many other
I dream of
stories to be
reshoots.
told.
Oh god.
Yeah.
So are you guys working on anything or any ideas now?
Yeah, do you have any personal projects going on?
Yeah.
Because it's like a that's
I'm
like
still working on Leadbeater.
As we speak.
Yeah.
Ask me at the end of the semester, and we'll have a
All
better
right.
idea.
I plan on directing a music video next semester.
is it
but
the one
that-
for the Reagan Cats?
No. So but I don't even. That's not even like I don't even have an artist or anything yet. But I plan on doing that sometime next semester. But that's the only immediate plans for me other than Leadbeater.
You're doing that for a directed study, right?
Yeah. That
Cool.
Would be, that's
Yeah.
what it's
I'm
for.
also trying to do a directed study. There's rumor that there's going to be one here at Towson for cinema photography next semester. I won't go too much into that and spoil it for anyone, but I'm definitely trying to DP something else too next semester.
All right.
Sounds spooky.
Spooky.
Anything coming up for you, Jeb?
I just love
Graduating.
producing. Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm gonna be gone here.
Oh, yeah,
in a
you're
little
right.
bit. So
I have a
Are
special
you
respect
graduating
for
this
producers.
semester or next?
I'm graduating this semester.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Into the
Rest
big
in peace,
bad
Jeb.
world.
Exactly.
You'll be
Mhm.
missed.
So, I guess now we can move into the casual side of things.
Chill and laid back.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, we're going to ask a few fun questions, sort of like a get to know the creators type deal.
Question number 1, Tyler,
round.
what color is your underwear?
Okay. You don't have to answer that if you don't
Yes,
want
you
to.
do. Yes, you do.
Okay, Corey,
think I
let's stop being
remember.
creepy.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't know.
You don't. There
How do
you
you
go.
not?
Happened-
Wait,
it
how do
happened
I
in the
understand how
morning.
people don't understand, like, don't remember what they put on?
No.
I don't
I couldn't
remember.
tell
Yeah.
you what color my underwear right now.
Maybe it's different for girls because
I
we
was
have,
so
like,
groggy this morning. I don't remember.
I can't remember half the things that I do anymore. It's like I'm just blacked out all the time. Like, I can't remember
That's what
anything.
Leadbeater does to you.
Yeah,
The
you're just in
thing
a
about
haze.
insomnia is you're never really asleep, but you're never really awake either. And that's gonna happen. when
This
you're
was supposed to be
film
chill and casual.
Now we're getting like really.
It's like a very dark turn.
Just reminding you all.
Let's talk about insomnia.
You sit in an editing room for hours and then see how your mind is.
Edited
Well, we already know
I'd
how
rather
my
not,
mind is.
actually.
Apparently, I think I have delusions or hallucinations of people falling off
Oh yeah.
roofs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what was that about?
was
What was
that
that
about?
about, Kelly?
I haven't slept in 2 days
There you go.
Sick.
because of projects that I had to do for psychology, which I wish it was like yours, where it's actually like something that you can see getting done. But with me, it's just papers and writing, and that's just mine.
You don't have to be here. You can
No,
take a nap if you want.
No, it's fine. I want to be here. No, but this, I don't know what's happened with the past day and a half. I've been having hallucinations where at one point there was an eye on my door, which was really weird, and it blinked. And then in class today, I swear to God, I saw someone jump off the roof of the LA building and fall to their death, but no one else noticed them. So I think that it wasn't real.
It was Gus, though.
Yeah, it was me. Sorry.
So speaking of insomnia,
go.
I feel you.
I got a fun question to ask the entire room. How would you describe your individual aesthetic?
A hot mess.
Aesthetic. just
AES period.
Oh, you already answered.
no, I don't. Like,
Jesus, I
Tough
don't know.
question.
yeah, it's hard to pinpoint it down. I definitely draw upon other generations' aesthetics, and that's what I use to build upon my own. Definitely a lot from, probably mostly from early 90s. I like to mix that with like current stuff. But I mean, that's really just in general popular now. It's just, that's such a hard question.
I don't know. I mean, me looking at, when I look at your photos and I look at the work that you've done, like, your aesthetic is, like, right there. Like right there. Like, it's,
What is it?
I can't describe it.
It exists, but you
it's
can't
like,
name it.
I mean,
but
like,
I can honestly say that anytime I see a picture that you've done or something that you've worked on, I can say, like, okay, I know Tyler worked on that, just because your aesthetic is so there. It's weird.
It's
Are
hard
you
to
implying
pinpoint
that
yourself.
he is so aesthetic that he's created his own aesthetic?
Yes.
Yes.
Because if that's the
that's
case,
his goal.
Jeb's aesthetic
purely
is
a
Tyler's aesthetic.
Yeah. I'm purely a concept now.
It's very abstract.
I have transcended my natural body.
What about you guys, Snow? What would be your aesthetic?
Oh Jesus Christ. Okay.
Dad.
Your aesthetic.
Okay. Actually,
Art dad.
art dad. I mean, if you're talking about the way I dress, then yes. But like in terms of my art making, so I'm an illustrator, and like most of my illustrations require a lot of pattern and texture. I like creating these vast scapes of just like different patterns and textures coming together. I even did it with like my my photo shoots. I've done 2 projects. Well, they're called the Imagination Project. There's 2 parts to it, and it's like this. It was a lot of fun. There's like mixing patterns and stuff. I'm kind of like encouraging people to like mix patterns because it's not as bad as you think it is. But if I were to describe like the aesthetic of my art making, then it would be that.
Mixing of patterns.
Yeah, lots of patterns. And
Are you gonna
textures.
do a Imagination Project 3? Because I haven't
Get
been able to
planning.
be in any of them, and that's kind of
Maybe. I'm trying to mix up the concept. I tried to do it for part 2, because for part 1 it was just like everybody wear patterns, but for part 2 I tried to incorporate all patterns with just black and white. So I think for part 3, I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna do. I just know I'm going to incorporate these textures in some.
You could
way.
mix patterns of clothing like black and white, but with like pattern backgrounds. Like,
Yeah.
does that make
See,
sense?
it works, but like logistically, I have to figure that out. Like,
Oh, yeah.
like the main reason some of these ideas don't go through sometimes is just like logistics. Like the reason I couldn't get black and white is because nobody had anything,
Right.
and like I wasn't able to go shopping for like black and white clothes. So, I mean, it's definitely a great idea. I'll keep it in the books, but like I gotta like figure out logistics for it. So,
My personal aesthetic, it'll probably be, and I mean I've talked about this with Guy Snow before. Like it'd probably be like Afrocentric punk almost. Like yeah, like cause hip hop and punk are like two big like cultures in my life. Like hip hop is definitely like more of a bigger influence on like, you know, the way I dress and like the media that I consume and like the art that I try to make. You know, I'm very like, yeah, like I love culture. I love black culture. And like, you know, I try to incorporate that in like everything that I do. So it's very much, I get, yeah, like the best way to describe like my personal style would probably be Afro punk. Like if you ever heard of, you know, the Afro punk festival, like up in New York and like worldwide, just go to that or like look up pictures of like that. Like that's basically my aesthetic. That's
fucking amazing.
yeah. Yeah.
It's
It's
just, I don't know. It's like, cause like even with any kind of festival, you always see like, cause I'm always interested in fashion as well, and I think that's like a way that people express themselves and like their art in a way. And like when you go to like Afropunk or like like a Coachella or like something like that, it's always interesting to see how people like what choices they make to like show who they are to other people.
Yeah, and I love like this whole like wave of, you know, just like in just the black community, just like really, you know, stepping out of, you know, what, you know, like mainstream black culture. Like they're daring to be different, they're daring to be more artsy, they're daring to be, you know, be more individualistic, you know. Yeah, we're not, you know, we're not just a monolith. Like we can be just as creative as any other culture, and it's really showing like, you know, through like recent like, you know, acts like Anderson .Paak or, you know, the internet or, you know, just like any like, you know, Soul Action, that whole crew. Who else? Who was that one artist? Not Gold Link, but that other artist that showed up that performed during Sango's set. Do you remember from Broccoli City?
Lakeem?
No, he was a singer. Xavier Omar.
Oh, him.
So yeah, it's just like
cool.
just like creative, like artsy creative people like that coming up in the black community, like redefining what it means to be black, like in today's society, I really vibe with. And I think it's really cool that, you know, we have a movement like that. And that's pretty much like, you know, Afro punk is pretty much sort of like that in a nutshell. So, yeah.
Corey.
I aim to be a flaming garbage can 24/7. So
That's your aesthetic? I thought your aesthetic was like pure Baltimore hipster trash.
well, that's pretty much what it is. Like, you know, like
He is trash.
Divine.
What do you expect?
He would have been perfect for Leadbeater, actually.
Yeah.
a big personal a big personal idol of mine is Divine, the Divine, the Queen of Trash.
Queen of Baltimore, really.
Yeah, honestly, starred in like a bunch of John Waters films. Like, all Divine ever wanted to be was the trashiest piece of shit around, and that's what I'm modeling my life after.
And that's
So
why you're the dirtiest pig in the
that's
pen.
why I'm the
Yep.
dirtiest pig in the pen.
The
I hope-
dirtiest.
John Waters sees Leadbeater and is like, "Ugh, I'm gonna executive produce it and just throw all this money at it. Go reshoot the whole thing with like $1
Take me
million.
with you.
Yeah, please."
Kelly, what's your aesthetic? What's your style? You have no style.
Have you seen me dress? Like, I have none. I need help.
What? No, you have a style.
What is my style?
What
I
is
copy
your
other people's
style?
style.
You kind of look like
Everybody copies other people's style.
your cardigan thing you're wearing is kind of like one of those big fuzzy socks that people love.
I love socks.
Me too, man.
That's your aesthetic. Fuzzy socks. Or fuzzy.
I don't know.
fuzzy material.
I think I guess I don't know. I guess my aesthetic would be comfortable and practical.
Yeah, you're kind of like your aesthetic right now is almost like girl in elementary school who brings the tray of cookies on every Friday for the whole class.
Ah, yes.
That's your aesthetic.
Yes.
Bullseye.
That's beautiful. I would love to be that. Does that mean I'm popular? Because I
You
bring
bring the
cookies.
cookies. It's this weird facade where like people don't know where to place you because you're friends with everyone. So like you're not totally in one clique, but like you're kind of in your own bubble because you're nice to everyone. It's one of those sort of things.
He just described me.
Don't let
in
this
a
get to your
nutshell,
head.
To
There
be
you go.
honest.
Yeah.
I want to be
Aesthetic
described.
king.
Hold up.
Yeah, no, wait, why don't you describe everyone? Because that was perfect.
Describe the host, because you're the aesthetic.
I'm not ready for this emotional toll.
Okay. So Goss now is like
The worst.
Okay.
Let him speak. Let the expert speak.
No pressure or anything.
yeah, it's like 90s art teacher that's a dad. But
Oh,
he
Goss, now you
teaches
should be an art
like
teacher.
middle school art.
Middle school art.
Oh God.
Middle school
no.
art class.
I don't have the patience.
But
why I'm
you
not an art education
do
major
it
anymore.
because you want to be a good dad and support your one
son.
child.
I
Yeah, you have
guess.
one kid. He's a
Just
son.
one.
What's the kid's name?
He Malcolm.
Malcolm.
And you probably take tennis lessons, but you wish that you had more time to devote to tennis than you do, but you still do it like once in a while.
That is beautiful.
This is good.
Do me next. Do me next.
Okay. So Namdi is like the cool kid in the back of the classroom in high school. That's like he's really, really nice, but like at first you can't tell or not. So you're like, wait, I'm gonna avoid him, but then you're like, oh wait, he's cool. Okay, he's cool. And so like if it was at a recess, like in playground, you would be on top of the jungle gym, like dealing like Yu-Gi-Oh cards or something. Like back when Yu-Gi-Oh was cool, like it was cool then, and like
Yeah.
you were like you would have been like the master of it, and like people would have came to you like you were like the plug for Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Oh, I'm the plug.
And yeah, you're just like just
Got
all
that
around
blue-eyes
like
white dragon?
Right.
everyone.
Yo, for real though, when I was in second grade, I had this Yu-Gi-Oh card, Blue Eyes White Dragon, and my teacher fucking took it from me and said that I would get it back at the end of the school year or whatever.
You
never got it back.
I never got it back.
I had a very similar experience.
Yeah, and then
I'm holding a
Because
grudge
I-
against you,
I got
Miss
sick
Smith.
the last week of school, so I never got my cards back. And she put it in this box that was the June box, and it was when school let out, you could get your things back. I never got them back.
They don't realize
I'm
It's
probably
like-
sitting on like
$50.
$10 worth of Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
It's like
I'm
fucking
just-
prison. They take all your shit from you and you get it back at the end, except you don't get it back. Second grade was worse than prison.
I never had this issue. I
All
just
right,
always
why
hit
don't you
it.
describe Corey?
How'd you
Okay,
describe Corey?
so Corey is like straight off the road from Dublin and moves to Baltimore and
Got mixed up with the wrong crowd.
yeah, like
I sought out the wrong crowd.
he didn't make it mix up. He sought him out. He's a part of it. He's embracing it, and like he's watching his life spiral, but he's a little okay with it.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
He's learning to thrive in his new environment.
Yeah, I always tell myself that I'm thriving while the room is on fire.
We're all fire
And there's definitely
watchers.
there's a European flair in
European.
Corey. Yeah,
I could see
you got
it.
the Euro trash. There's a little bit
The
of it.
Euro trash.
Eurotrash.
There you go.
You have
As
an
long as it's
impeccable
trash, I'm
eye
okay.
for aesthetics.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I love how you describe them.
Yeah, that's
I hope
Beautiful.
the viewers at home can just imagine what you all look like.
You just told me I teach middle school. I'm not okay with that.
Well, neither is your character in whatever this made-up world is. But
Yeah, your character is not happy.
Oh well, I'm not either. So
It's conflict.
All right. So, do we have any favorite movies that we've seen recently? Just going around.
Are we
the
gonna
room.
ask
I
this
want to hear
question?
some favorite movie all time, actually.
Favorite?
Oh, yeah.
No, that's too hard. Favorite
too
movie of
hard.
all
No, it's
time.
not.
No, it isn't. Everybody's got an all-time favorite
it's
movie.
very easy.
I
don't
It's-
have
the
one.
answer is always Predator. It's always going to be Predator.
Just the,
All
the
right, Chad.
mass.
Thank you. Andrew Capino.
But are we talking about because of how good it is, or because it has an emotional attachment? Because I have
Either or.
movies that I love.
Like, my all-time favorite movies suck because they're from when I was like 8.
What is it?
Like The Mummy and like
But I
the
love The
live-action
Mummy.
Scooby-Doo
Great.
movie.
All right, hold on. No,
Wait,
no,
the
no.
Scooby-Doo-
The live-action
live-action-
Scooby-Doo movie was pretty cool,
It's
except for
pretty
the one
lit.
with
It's mostly the
Scrappy-Doo.
production design. It's just very campy and Tim Burton-y in some scenes. It's like just
Did
kind of
Tim
fun.
Burton direct that one?
No,
I didn't
but
think
like
so.
inside of the like spooky castle, there's like all these little like evil clowns that are all like ha ha, and it's just like this weird little goofy.
Wait, can you do that again?
I have to go. Sorry.
I don't like that.
Oh my
I don't know,
God,
just
yeah.
like I don't know why I liked it so much. It just I would skip school and get really stressed out and just be like, fuck this. I'm skipping. I'm shutting out the world and just like watching
old were
Scooby
you?
Doo.
You were like,
Fuck
I'm
me.
so stressed
I
out.
got payments
Fuck
to
this,
make.
I
I'm
was
sitting
like
here
9
watching
years old.
Scooby-Doo.
I actually,
9 years
yeah,
old.
I actually added that in my essay to like my application for the film major at Towson. I was just like, I would skip school and just watch The Mummy and
Wow.
Wish you were married to Rachel Weisz.
yeah. And I just want to combine both of those lifestyles.
What about you, Tyler?
My favorite movie of all time. It's weird because I'm not a huge documentary fan, but my favorite movie is a documentary. It's Grey Gardens from the 70s, which is like this weird cult documentary about Jackie Kennedy's aunt and niece, and they're both older now, and like the aunt, Big Edie, is like in her 80s, and her daughter, Little Edie, is in her 50s, and they are very, very wealthy and lived in East Hampton, but they lost all their money, but they refused to move out of their house. So it takes place, their house is like condemned and falling apart, and it's just an absolute shambles. But they refuse to refuse to leave, and it's just like a summer in their life of just the monotony of them living in this, like them trying to hold on to like the faded glamour of their life.
And that's a documentary?
It's a documentary. It's like
sounds
reality
really
TV
good.
before reality TV was a thing.
Right.
Wow.
What was the name of this?
Grey Gardens.
Great
I'll have to check it
gardens.
out. Is it on Netflix?
No, but it's for free on YouTube because it's old.
Cool, cool.
What? Wait, what is it?
I think it's 75 it came out.
Shit.
Definitely have to check it out.
Oh, man. I gotta tell you. I keep seeing a lot of movies recently, and I know I say this all the time because Dan Leonard keeps shoving like really good movies down my throat. But Funny Games US, it's a shot-for-shot remake of a Norwegian movie called Funny Games, but in Norwegian.
Right.
It is literally the most uncomfortable thing that I've ever watched in my life.
What's it about?
It's about these two dudes that sort of take this family hostage and sort of just like toy with them for the whole movie. Like, you gotta watch it. It's hard to explain, but you'll be really uncomfortable the entire time, and that's why I like it.
And that's why you should watch it if you want to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, like, it's an emotional toll. I think I'm a worse person for saying it,
For seeing it? Well, there you go.
which is usually like the goal.
Of movies?
Yeah, like you want to come out a changed man
Oh, definitely.
for the
Yeah,
worse.
Yeah. For the worst.
Power of cinema.
Through that power of cinema.
My favorite movie of all time, I'm gonna have to go with Coming to America. Have you guys ever seen that?
No.
It's this old Eddie Murphy film.
Oh, wait, yeah.
It was during his heyday, and oh my, I can quote. See, I saw that film for the first time when I was a kid. We had it on VHS. Mind you, this film is rated R. So, like, it's inappropriate as hell. And my parents did not care that their 8-year-old son was in front of the TV watching, you know, Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall cuss their asses off.
The royal penis is clean.
Yes, the royal penis is clean.
Oh, God.
Yeah. That movie is just, like dumb quotable. There's so many different quotes from that film. Yeah, Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall, like they pretty much played different characters. So it was essentially like an SNL sketch, but you know, in film form. So I love it to this day. Like that's my favorite movie of all time, Coming to America. So, Genzano, you got a favorite movie?
Oh God. I was hoping you wouldn't call on me.
This isn't a classroom.
Spotlight.
Like, you have to be expected to be called on.
Okay. Let's see, because I like a shit ton of movies.
Me
Let's
too,
see.
man. Sick.
I'm just gonna name the first one that comes off the top of my head.
Okay.
Spirited Away was
Spirited
probably
Away.
one of my
love
favorite films.
Spirited Away.
Because I'm a huge Studio Ghibli fan, and like he's the only person that successfully made me cry. I just think that movie is beautiful, and like I'm a huge animation fan, so there.
Cool. Solid answer.
I like Howl's Moving Castle from Studio Ghibli.
Mm-hmm. That's a really good one too.
I've only seen Totoro, and that also made me cry.
Yeah, I was
That one
there.
made you cry?
That's just Studio
Huh?
Ghibli in general.
I
Yeah.
thought that was a happy movie.
That's what people keep telling me, but like that's
No,
clearly
it
not a
did.
happy movie. You guys are fucked up if you think that's a happy movie.
Um,
I thought her mom was gonna die.
but
yeah.
it's fine. Like yeah, that like you know, Peen said the power of cinema, right?
That's right.
Um,
I saw that one from Max Radville at his Film 3 speech, actually. But he was so chill.
What about favorite music artists?
Favorite.
You didn't
Let's
ask
hear
me
it,
about my
Tyler.
movie.
I assume that we're gonna say like almost the exact same thing.
Wait, hold on. Kelly needs to say her
No,
movie
it's
real
fine.
quick.
It's fine. You forgot about
Just
it. It's
blurt
fine.
it. Just say it.
The Dark Crystal.
The Dark Crystal.
What is that?
Have you never seen that?
Nah, I've heard of
I think
it.
you would like it.
I never heard of them.
Yeah, it's a really old Jim Henson movie.
We're talking about
Jim.
music.
Yeah, we're talking about movies.
This is a movie,
Just
yeah.
a quick, yeah. Like,
Oh, okay. I
Because
thought
he
you said
forgot about
music.
it.
I caught that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jim
Okay,
Henson
wait,
and
wait.
You call on me, but you don't call
know
on
that
Kelly.
band.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, but yeah,
All
that's
right,
mine.
yeah. So
Yeah.
favorite music artists?
Lay it on me, Tyler.
Yeah.
Wait, let's say it together. The
3.
favorite artist. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Lana
Vote.
Del Rey. What?
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Yeah, you're right there.
Anyone who knows me knows that I worship
Satan.
God, and God is a woman, and that she is Lana Del Rey.
Accurate.
Yeah.
But I like tons of music, obviously, from what I prattled off earlier.
No, it's
I
just
think I
Lana Del
actually
Rey.
saw her live.
You think you would know?
I
Because you would have been
No,
baptized.
it was one of those awkward moments when
of a god.
I had broken up with my boyfriend and he had bought us tickets to see Lana. And he insisted that we still go together, even though we were broken up.
That's
I mean, it's
kinda
Lana Del Rey.
Del Rey,
And it
but
was
still.
really awkward because I like her, and so I was trying to listen to the music while he was trying to have a conversation with me, and it just turned off the
Just ignore
whole
him.
concert.
Oh no.
Okay, now I hate Lana.
It's like this is
Still
not.
like her.
This is not about you. This is about Lana.
Exactly.
You want to know who, like, when I first discovered her, I low-key thought that she was an actual, like, elf goddess or, like,
Lord.
demigod. No, not Lord. Florence.
Florence,
like,
yeah.
early Florence.
Like, was
Like,
born out of a tree
Yeah.
and like has
Yeah.
powers. And,
yeah, like, she seemed larger than life. Like, it was, you know, like, she would go on stage. She had, like, makeup on. Like, when you listen to her, like, her earlier stuff, like, you know, like, Lungs or Ceremonials, you like picture in your, I don't know if anybody else, you know, pictures this, but like
Just you.
I picture listen, I picture
It's his
Florence,
aesthetic.
I picture Florence like on a horse, like flying through the air, like with the flower crown.
What the fuck?
Like just like no, like it sounds
With a
larger.
flower, with a flower.
A flower crown,
Okay.
like yeah,
I said
like
fire
and
crown.
she has like you know like she can control like plants and shit, and there's vines and like she has like a legion of like elf.
Dude,
like
Pretty much.
did you eat something?
Were you on LSD or something?
Yeah, like he's calling out Florence's aesthetic right now. Like this is
No,
it.
yeah, that's her aesthetic.
Aura.
Is this just this should be the name of the podcast. That's
Just the aesthetic.
all lowercase with a period at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I want each of the letters to be spaced.
Yeah, space out the letters. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Maybe throw in a
Stop
delay.
this.
But no, like on a serious note, like yeah, I love Florence. I love a mix of like hip hop, R&B, so yeah, just like you know, black music in general, just like hip hop, R&B, funk, soul, jazz, and also like in recent years I've gotten more into rock. Yeah, like my rock tastes have grown exponentially. Like
You are my rock.
He was looking at me while he said that, and I wasn't sure if he was
Yeah.
talking to me or somebody else.
So basically, I got FIFA. I think it was like FIFA 11, and like I listened to the soundtrack, and that soundtrack had a lot of like indie rock on it. So then I would go on Spotify and look those artists up, and then from there it just grew from there, and it it mutated, and like I'm super into. Like it's like I said before, Afropunk. Like I'm into.
I got so lost. Sorry. Keep talking.
Yeah, so yeah, like as I said before, like yeah, like I like a mix of like hip hop, R&B, soul, jazz, like those types of like a few favorite artists currently right now, Anderson .Paak.
Anderson?
Yeah, Anderson is sick. Like if you check out the album Malibu on Spotify.
Which got nominated for a Grammy.
Yes, it did.
Oh Jesus.
We'll get into that later, but like for now, let me. Yeah, like it got nominated. It's a fantastic album, one of the best albums of this year. Check that out if you haven't already. K-Tronada, which my buddy Gosnell got me into. Also one of my.
I just live for K-Tronada and everything that he stands for. Also, he's pretty much Namdi. That's why I introduced him to him.
Yeah, I looked up an interview and like we pretty much have the same mannerisms and like the same sort of style and how we carry ourselves. But yeah, his album 99.9%. If you haven't checked that out, it's literally like the perfect album. Like it flows perfectly. Like each song flows into the next like seamlessly. And it's just like a great mix of electronica and like soul and funk and hip hop. And it's easily one of the best albums of the year. So if you haven't already, check that album out. Obviously I love I love Tribe and I'm into like everything pretty much but country. I know that sounds cliche.
I like country.
Some of the old country was really good.
I mean, I've never cared to delve deep into the genre. That's what I meant. No diss to anybody that loves country.
No, you're fine. But the thing is, I like what's it called? I don't listen to music that often, but when I do, I listen to older music. So I listen to like Moody Blues, Billy Joel, even older like Sandman and really old stuff.
Not the current like country, like contemporary country. That's like.
I don't really listen to country that often anymore, just because it's gotten too annoying.
Well,
Guys, real
Cookie
quick,
cutter.
we have like about 10 minutes left. Let's get into these Grammy nominations.
And why they are all bullshit.
hold on. My girl got nominated for so much.
Yeah, she's leading the nominations with like.
Are you talking about Beyonce?
Beyonce, Giselle, no.
All right, relax for one.
You cannot relax
You
when it
can't.
comes to Beyonce. Because
I don't.
She deserved to
don't
get
care.
nominated, but like the nominations as a whole are complete trash. Yeah. It's like
What do you guys feel about the nomination?
they were all the same, like top 3 nominations for every single fucking category.
I feel personally
thank you,
victimized by the existence of the chain smokers.
Me too. Me too.
You personally, they
Yeah.
attacked you.
Chain smokers, I like a lot of electronic. Anyone
Same,
that knows
bro.
me,
Yeah.
anyone that knows me knows that. And I think that chain smokers are filling a niche that needs to be filled. Their old stuff was great, guys. Now I don't know if you knew them.
They're nominated for Best New Artist. That really gets me. I'm like, they're not new at all. They just got famous this year because they're closer.
Don't call it new artists.
that threw me off.
Just call it, you got famous this year, so here's an award for you getting attention.
You're
Finally.
like new artists, name 5 of their albums.
Exactly. Like, come on, man.
Andrew is
Oh, he's
Andrew's like sliding out, slithering out.
I'll be back.
No, I mean, hey, listen.
don't bother.
I know. The second I say this, you all are gonna jump on my back and beat
All
me
right,
up.
I'm ready.
Closer is a great song.
Look, listen.
It's
no one's
though.
Hold up. No one's disagreeing that Closer isn't a good song. It is, however, their only good song, and they're also kind of like assholes.
Yeah, they seem very douchey.
But the thing is, like,
they-
I don't
This
understand
is
about
the
the
industry.
I don't understand about the
I think
Grammys
they fit
is
the
that
crowd that they're appealing to.
Yeah.
is that like a lot
Doesn't
of the
Val really like the Chainsmokers?
Genzano?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Are you sure? I could have sworn she was like in love with them.
No, she likes Diet Sig. If you're thinking about another cigarette themed,
I mean, Diet
Man.
Sig is great too, but
I went to a Chainsmokers show and I had a great time.
you would.
No, it was
Chad.
at a fest, but I mean,
I mean,
it would be good at a festival. Like that's kind of their thing.
right.
Yeah, I could see that. I
just like as a solo artist.
Maybe
not
it's
really.
just because that one song has played so much.
No, yeah, and I can't.
Well,
do it.
I mean, there's plenty of great songs that just get overplayed.
Yeah.
You know,
but then they get ruined
Lucky.
because they're overplayed.
Yeah,
I
but
love
Get
that
Lucky-
song, and that
I
just got so
hate
overplayed.
Get Lucky.
Yeah, by Daft Punk.
Oh, I
But
don't
it's
like that
it's
song.
time. No, it's timeless. Like in
Well,
my
that's,
opinion.
it's just
It is
that's
timeless. You can dance
how
to that even
electronic
when you're
is
fucking 90 years old.
become a
Right.
victim of.
So
Remember-
anyways, Beyonce.
Yeah, Beyonce.
All right,
Lemonade
give it a
was-
rest. I'm joking. Go, go, go.
No, let him speak. Let him speak about.
Give me
Queen
the
Bey.
death glare.
Lemonade.
Say it louder for the people in the back. guys,
Actually, okay, sorry. I know I like rave about Beyonce, like she's like the goddess of, I don't know.
I thought
whatever,
we agreed that
but-
Lana was the god.
Right. Yeah. Kind of like.
just
Tom.
like different
No,
levels.
you all agreed that Lana was the goddess.
There's
I
multiple
didn't.
gods.
Watch out.
Yeah,
Tyler's about
this
to
is
start
like
throwing
Greek,
hands.
ancient
But anyways.
Greek.
Oh, okay, got it. Got it.
Beyonce was a great. I mean, sorry, Lemonade was an awesome album, but I have my reserves about it because I feel like the first half was like fucking amazing, and then it like kind of slows down. Like what is it, Daddy Lessons? That country song that she makes.
Oh, yeah.
Like after that, it starts
she
to go
made a
back
country
down.
song?
Yes, she
yeah,
did.
she did. That album actually has a lot of variety. It's pretty good, but like. I don't know. I just thought it was great, and I love her, and she's amazing.
What about her
also.
sister? Her sister dropped an album this year.
Solange
Yeah.
Knowles.
Talk about aesthetic.
Okay. Yes. Look.
Okay. Yeah. Go. No. Speak, guys.
So
Now
Well, you
speak.
better do it.
Okay. So I've been like listening to that album on repeat ever since it's been released. Like it's
did.
just so good, and like it has such a conscious view on like issues in America, especially dealing with racism and like
Yeah.
how like black people identify themselves.
Yeah.
And I just think it's like they definitely put things into a very clear perspective that I don't think most people have had
Right.
before. And like that album is just fucking amazing. A seat at the table, listen to it.
Yes, if you haven't already.
It's just it leaves me speechless every time, and now it's just like my go-to.
Cranes in the Sky is one of my favorite songs of this year.
Yeah, my brother loves that
Yeah,
song.
Cranes in the Sky is a really great song.
Is there any songs that have come out recently that you're like, yes?
Obsessed with.
So I like more alternative stuff, but I have a soft spot for this really, really good trashy pop songs. You know, they're trashy pop songs
Yeah.
and own it. And Charlie XDX is
Yes.
really she
Yes.
she fully has accepted like the trash pop with her new stuff, and she had a single come out with Lil Yachty
Oh.
called After the After Party.
Yes.
And it is the party anthem that I've needed my entire life.
Uh-huh.
Val
It's
showed me that.
I
song.
remember
it's
the first time that I saw her, she was at the 910 Club.
9:30 Club.
930 Club.
By the way, I'll be interning there next
Really?
semester.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even know who she was. My friend Kelly Peaks, who is a really big music person, she was like, "Hey, come along," and so I went, and oh my god, I fell in love. Like I don't know what it is about her music that just makes me feel so much
She's
like
just so
better.
true to her identity.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Like even if it's like something that other people look down upon, like it's fucking amazing.
She just doesn't care. She
Yeah,
just
exactly.
owns
She
it.
doesn't
Yeah.
care, and that's what's great about
Her
her.
individualism is like very present in her
And very
music
feminist,
and her
if you're into
personality.
So that's cool.
But listen, you guys, if you aren't already hip to it, get hip to Wolfpack. They came out with listen.
I remember you showed me him. I mean them.
Them, yeah.
They're
Yeah.
they're great.
They are a group of 4 white Jewish men from Michigan that somehow came together and formed the greatest rhythm section band in the entire world. And I don't know how they do it, but it's magic. And you need to listen to their new album called The Beautiful Game that came out.
Why don't you put a clip in?
I'll put a link to the
link,
Spotify link, but it came out I think last month or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Any favorite TV shows currently that you've been watching?
The Office.
The Office.
That 70s show?
I never liked The Office.
Get out.
Sorry.
Fuck off.
I don't get the appeal of it. It's like
I had to watch it a couple times for me to like.
I don't
get
have
into
time
it.
to watch different times of The
Watch
Office.
different times.
I
It's
don't
one
have
of those
time
things,
to
like-
watch it multiple times to finally be like, oh yeah, this is pretty alright.
Like I have to, but I'm really bad with like awkward things.
So like awkward humor or
Yeah, in television or in movies, I can't handle it. I literally cringe and have to leave the room. So it took me a while to kind of get into, which is why I also like Rick and Morty. Like,
That's
it's
what I
something
live
that I
for.
have to like
Yeah, Rick
ease
and Morty
into.
is-
Rick and Morty. Yeah.
That's my life. Rick and Morty, Black Mirror.
Dude,
Black
Black
Mirror.
Mirror.
I saw
makes
my
me
first.
cringe.
Okay, so like
What do you
my-
mean Black Mirror makes you cringe?
The
Season
first one,
3,
the first
episode 4,
season.
San Junipero.
I haven't.
That
seen
was my
the
least
new
favorite one of season 3, though.
That
No,
was
but the
my
one where
favorite
he
one
had
of
to
all
like
time.
screw the peg,
Oh
right?
shit.
That's
that
the first one I watched.
Made me feel so sick.
Well, yeah, but that's not all the episodes, though. Like, The Office's whole thing is that it's like supposed to make you uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
that's not-
I did like the first season of Black Mirror.
Have you seen any of the new season?
I watched one, but I watched it with Alex, and he kind of ruined it because he talked the whole time, and so I wasn't able to actually listen
That's
to anything.
Alex.
I hate
Oh,
people that
which
do that.
which one was it?
It was the first one. It was the one with the likes.
Okay,
The-
yeah, that's kind of like
It was kind of it was a slow one. I actually had to skip through it because I got bored.
I like White
Don't
Christmas
do
a
that.
lot.
don't do that. You can't just skip through.
I got like halfway through, and then I was like, all right, I'm just want to see the end, and the end was good. So
The episode
I'm
that
done
I
with
saw.
you. Don't talk to me.
The episode that I saw of the new season of Black Mirror, and I was watching it with my big Haley.
I'll watch it with you.
No.
Was the episode where it was that guy that had like the virtual reality thing in his neck.
Was it the gaming one? Or
Yeah, it's
horror
the gaming one.
Oh, wait,
that-
That's the one that Laura gave me, told me to watch, which I went home immediately and watched it. And
Yeah.
then I was like, all right,
that was crazy.
watch every single other one.
Yeah, I'm planning on watching the rest of the season. Also, if you haven't already,
So homie.
please check out
This is-
Atlanta.
Oh my
Yep.
God.
Please go
Namdi, I
check
think
out that
you love
show.
Atlanta more than Donald Glover loves Atlanta.
No, listen, it's
I think you
honestly
made
my
like 3
favorite.
plugs in this hour.
It's my favorite show that has
Actually,
come
you're
out
right.
this. Yeah, it's my favorite show that has come out this
Wait,
fall.
me or him?
No, you.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
he's-
you
plugged
made
this
plugs
show.
to Atlanta. You made plugs to Afropunk.
The the music festival.
Yeah,
The arts and music
like
festival.
6 times.
Yeah, Namdi, get these people to pay us.
Yeah,
Like,
you know what?
if
I'm
you-
gonna- But no, but yeah, like that, if you haven't already, please check that show out. Like over the break, it's like 10 half-hour episodes, so you'll be able to blow through it in a day. But yeah, it's easily my favorite show to come out this fall. It's hilarious, it's funny as fuck. Just like film nerds, you'll be able to appreciate like the cinematography and like how it's shot, and yeah, it's great. Go check it out. All right, I'm done.
Speaking
I'm gonna
of
shut up about it
plugging
later.
Alright.
films, Leadbeater, when does it come out?
Woohoo! Well, the premiere will be December 16th at 7 p.m. Towson University campus in the Van Bachlen Auditorium.
Be there, be
I think
square.
that's next Friday.
Yeah, it's next Friday.
What time do
yeah,
you
we
think
should-
You
that
got
you'll
it.
have it?
We should stop saying December 16th and start saying
10 days
next
from now.
Friday.
10
I
days.
can't wait. I really
Tyler?
can't wait.
Tyler, what time do you think it'll be available for people, the masses, who cannot attend the screening?
That's a good question. So we'll be on that whole doing that festival thing. So it's probably not going to be publicly online for quite a while, but
Try to
we'll.
ride that festival circuit.
So you
Yeah.
have
Damn.
to come see it. if
Yeah.
you
Come
want.
out
Come
and
to
see
Towson
it.
University on
Yeah,
December
come
16th.
support
But
your
if
boys.
you find us on like our Facebook page, just Leadbeater Film, once we do get into festivals and stuff, we'll post them all there. So there may be one in your area that you can go see.
Hell yeah, how about
Yeah,
that?
come
All right,
on,
we have
support.
unfortunately run out of time for the podcast. So, Tyler Peterson, the director of Leadbeater.
Hi.
Final words. Send us off.
For the whole podcast?
Yeah.
Last person. Oh.
Final words. Say it.
Okay.
Make it memorable.
Thank you for listening to The Reel today, guys. Hope you had a aesthetic time with us.
Sick time.
Until next time, stay aesthetic, stay bougie. Gosnell's
Definitely
doing
stay
something.
bougie.
I'm just gonna stall. Find social media. This plug? Our plug? Oh, plug our social media. So you can find Leadbeater on Facebook. We're also on Twitter, just Leadbeater Film. Find that on Instagram. My production company, Lux Days Media, LUXDAZE Media on Instagram, and also my personal Instagram is Tyler Pease. So hope you had a great time hanging out with us, folks, and stay trashy, Baltimore.
Stay trashy, not classy.
Yep.
All right.
Keep it
Very,
real.
very sexy.